2010 GD37 has been removed from the risk list. This asteroid it never was any NASA asteroid warning at all, and they now say that it's removed. This is you are removed from the database on 2019 10 28 16 10 12. If you want to go to the techie page, go to the techie numbers, and so this is, and then wait for the page to come up. And if you go to the removed objects, then there it is, 2010 GD37. It was removed on the 28th of October. They keep removing objects all the time. 2,369 so far. And this is my page, which is just is that's a non-techie. It does it in words, so it and you search for it in one go. It's the same thing. It was never an asteroid warning. All that was completely made up. Nobody ever warned anything about 201 GD37 from NASA. It was always a no-hazard asteroid, like all the others up here. See, all of these, far future, no hazard, no hazard, no hazard, no hazard. And there are no asteroid or comet warnings. All the ones that we are tracking are completely harmless to Earth as of Thursday, October the 23rd, October the 31st, 2019. No hazard, 0. Now, that again is an interface into their techie table, which is very difficult for most people to read. The only thing that really makes any sense if you're not kind of strong in astronomy is this last table here, and if only I've suggested that they change that 0 to the words no hazard, because that's what it means. They should have, each one should be just say no hazard, no hazard, no hazard, no hazard, no hazard, and everybody would understand. But instead they say Torino scale, max, and 0. It means the same thing. And all I've done is to change the 0 to no hazard. If you go to the Torino scale, 0 means no hazard. That is a 0, and that means it's no hazard. That's what it means. If it's a 1, it means it's normal. If it's 2, 3 or 4, it's meriting attention by astronomers. And we haven't had anything, the highest anything has gone is 4. We have never reached the 5 threatening. And if it goes to 8, it's a collision, but it can be a very small collision, like a small asteroid going splosh into the middle of the Pacific, and that is the most likely. If you go look at that first one, we're likely to get a 6 at some point. And this means capable of causing localized destruction for an impact over land or possibly a tsunami if close offshore. But most likely it lands in the middle of a desert or ice sheet, or the most likely of all in the middle of the Pacific, because it's the biggest area of Earth, or in the Atlantic or one of the oceans. That's very far the most likely, and that would just be a splosh which would not harm anyone, and you would just get people going there in their planes, flying over charter jets to watch it, because it would be quite spectacular from the air. And if one of these hit in the middle of an ocean, just a big splosh sends up material up hundreds of feet into the air, but it just splashes down all around and it doesn't harm anyone. That is the most likely future of all of the next impact. But so far we don't have any of those predicted. And the highest, and at the moment it is a no hazard. Likely of collision 0 or so low as to be effectively 0, or a small object that burns up in the atmosphere, or meteorite fall that barely causes damage. And then if you click on find out more, see did you know? And this bit of my page explains about that. It explains how if the Egyptians had developed asteroid detection telescopes way back there, thousands of years ago, way back, then they would not yet have seen anything that needs to be deflected, and they would not have seen any city killer impacts. So it's not surprising that we haven't got any, and you don't need to be scared of them. They're far less scary even than lightning. So you can flick through here, and this explains about that. The tiny ones are just large enough to get through the atmosphere, and what do I explain down there? And it just explains in words. I haven't got many pictures there, sadly. And people do occasionally die of asteroids, small ones. It's like a few per century in the entire world, compared to about 20 in the USA per year. And hailstones for lightning. For lightning, 20 in the US per year. And for hailstones, the last one of those in the US was in 2000. And as to whether anyone's been actually killed by meteorite in the US, it doesn't seem that anyone has. Not since in recorded history.